when the growth look good on you, best believe they wanna screw now. I've been trying to climb, devil threw me in the dark. Baby, don't be insecure, you can still go make a mark like blow. Could never let them drain my soul now. Blow. Table turning like doorknobs, wow. Blow. I think I'm about to set sail. I'm a walking, living legend, walking with my chest out. Life keep dealing me cards, I keep feeling it.
What's happening? What is happening, people? It's G. We're back in the building, guys. As always, smash the like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you share and comment and let me know. Today we are taking a look at my 10 favorite wingers, so make sure you guys drop yours in the comment section. We've done goalkeepers, we've done defenders, we've done midfielders. Now we're on to the penultimate category, and that is the winger market. Now, obviously, if you watch my midfielder one, of course, I included, left midfield and right midfield within that market, just because I wanted to kind of separate it, because obviously with the way that football has changed over the years and stuff like that, I felt like it would be a little bit disingenuous, trying to, pick between, certain players who back in the day wouldn't really have been classed as like wingers because they were genuinely left midfielders. And I don't feel like we saw the game in that kind of way. I feel like it's only really been early 2000s, I would say from then you could really start looking at certain players and saying, okay, this player, X player and that player, in terms of their positioning and stuff like that. So that's the reason why, I kind of wanted to, drop it up, in those kind of categories. But without further ado, let's start off with number one. One of the most technically gifted wingers, should I say, that I have ever seen in the Premier League. Everybody knows about Mahrez. When KDB or whoever sprays a pass out to the right wing, we all know, you see that first touch of Mahrez is long day. Long day. The Donny will kill the ball with that first touch. And people might look at that and think, yeah, well, like some people might think, yeah, bare people. Nah, there's not many people who can, in most situations, can just kill the ball dead with their first touch. And that's something, in my personal opinion, that Mahrez was excellent at doing, bro. Like, excellent at doing. Being able to do that. And again, he also had the dribbling ability. He had the technical ability. Typical cage footballer. I think that's the way I look at someone like Mahrez. Typical cage footballer. Dribble, inside, out, can finish, both feet as well. At time, listen, top player. I loved watching Mahrez. Surprised me because didn't know who he was prior to coming to the Premier League with Leicester City. Came to the Premier League with Leicester City, and he turned into what I would have called Robin, which is he had that one move. You knew what he was going to do. You can't stop it though. You can't stop it. Might stop it one time, might stop it like 2 times, but he's letting it off at some point in time. Excellent in that. Of course, won the Premier League with Leicester, won the Premier League, with Manchester City, won the Champions League, I believe. Yeah. So listen, man, top player, won the African Cup of Nations as well. Like, yo, this guy's accolades, dumb. I thought he was an excellent player throughout his, his time in England anyway. I can't really speak too much prior to that because I never really saw him, but watching him in England, dumb. Absolutely dumb. Let's move on to the next one. Boom. Mark Overmars. Now, what you're going to see on this list is a lot of left-footed players. Again, I'm not going to lie about it. I'm biased because someone needs to show love to the left-footed gang. You know what I mean? There's too many of you right-footed players out there. You get all the love. Let's show some love to the left-footed players, man. But Mark Overmars, again, one of the reasons why I started supporting Barcelona. Played for Arsenal, obviously moved over there later on to Barcelona. But I just always felt, watching him, speed demon on that left-hand side. Dutch speed demon, crazy pace, and he had this way about the way he ran as well. I always thought that was a bit not weird, but just different. That's probably the best way to say it. Really different. Really good player though. Really good player. Really liked Marc Overmars. Of course, mostly throughout his time, at Arsenal, but I just liked the way that he played. I liked the things that he would do. Playing for Arsenal on that left-hand side. The thing is, he wasn't even at Arsenal for mad long. He was only there for like 3 years, but played over 100 games, for them. Then moved to Barcelona, for 4 years, and then in the end moved back to Holland. But I always felt like he was a part of that kind of during that Ajax during the early 90s. And Ajax had a lot of players coming through like their kind of ranks. I always felt like, yeah. He's definitely a top player. He's definitely, you know, a really, you know, top player. Played under Louis van Gaal as well, of course, Arsene Wenger. You know, listen, there's not much more I could say on someone like Mark Overmars, man. I thought he was just dope, absolutely dope. On a list, really good. You know, with the amount of trophies and individual awards that he's won, you know, Dutch Football Talent of the Year, Dutch Golden Shoe winner, FIFA World Cup Best Young Player in '94, Ajax Young Player of the Year, Player of the Year, should I say, won a Premier League, FA Cup, Eredivisie. You know, it's more disappointing that he didn't win anything with Barcelona, but, you know, that's when Barcelona weren't really popping. But always a player that I always liked watching, and I followed him literally from Arsenal over to Barcelona, and that kind of made, because he was one of my favorite players at that period of time, probably top 2-3 favorite players at that time when he was at Arsenal. And then when he moved over to Barcelona, I just followed it. I just said, yep, he's gone over there. All right, cool. Looks like we're watching La Liga. Let's see what all the hype and fuss is all about. And yeah, it just kind of, you know, continued from there. But definitely a player I've really, you know, enjoyed watching, you know, throughout my time, man. Let's go next up. Excellent finish, Mo Salah. I couldn't do a list. I actually couldn't do a list, you know, without including someone like, with the way that I talk about Mo Salah, yeah, I actually couldn't do a list without including him in there. In terms of wingers. If I went through like favorite just players in general, maybe he probably would have made that list. But, and I always say story, but I always say this to people. When Mo Salah joined Liverpool, I was not gassed. I was like, why are you signing him? Like, other than him being fast, what else does he necessarily have? That was always my thing with someone like Mo Salah. I was like, yeah, he's quick in that. Yeah, I mean, if this was FIFA, calm. I mean, the Salah for Basel, quick. We knew that. I knew that already. Yeah, I saw about Fiorentina and Roma. Yeah, I saw that. Who would have known that he was going to go on to become one of the best players to play for Liverpool in the history of Liverpool? Easily one of the best players, like easily. You throw in all the names that you want, that's fine. He's in there. He's in and amongst all of them. Where you rank him, that's obviously down to you, and that would come down to your era. It doesn't really matter. He is in there with the legends of Liverpool Football Club. He is also one of the legends of Liverpool Football Club. One of the best players to ever play for Liverpool, easily. And that's not even an argument. It's not even an argument. You can say whatever you want to say, style of play, whatever. It doesn't even matter. He's just one of the best. He's proven that time and time again. See, when we talk about like we talk about some players being like selfish and stuff like that, I feel like that's why I like him. Like I said, I wasn't on signing Mo Salah, and I think that's why I like him so much, because and why I'm probably going to be a lot more harsher on other players and stuff like that, is that people can change your mind at any given moment in time in football. We know that, but they're only going to change your mind in football if they deserve to, like only if it's deserved to do so. Mo Salah did that for me. Like I said, yeah, Mo Salah, he's all right. After that first season, I said, okay, fairs. I took a step back. I said, all right, I have to, still not really, but I'm happy that we signed him because of what he did in that first season. No worries. Guess what? 7-8 years later, this guy's still doing job. You see, when we talk about, like, and again, the selfishness that he has that mentality. He has the mentality of all the elite players, all the top world-class players that throughout the years. He has that mentality. People don't really like it because they want the friendly, and we should pass the ball more. And all right, that's cool. You tell that to Ronaldo. Either of them, Cristiano or R9. You tell that to them. You tell that to the likes of the Torreses and stuff like that. Did you get? I'm trying, like, you tell all of these guys, yeah, you should. What do you mean pass more? Bro, I'm gonna do this myself. How about that? And guess what? I'm good enough to do it myself. And I love that attitude from Mo Salah. Like I said, people don't like it. People don't like it. Say selfish, or they used to say selfish, stuff like that. He's changed now, in my opinion, in terms of the type of player he is. Obviously, because he's declining physically wise. So naturally, I feel like that would always happen. But when we talk about a player, see Mo Salah, yeah. You can't, like, there's not much you can really say about someone like him. Like, if you want to do the stat side, it's long. He dwarfs your GOAT's favorite player. He dwarfs that guy. So we're good on the stat side. So then we want to start talking about the playing style. Calm. We can talk about the playing style. I guess that just comes down to preference. But guess what? His playing style is actually kind of alright. Again, like I said, I had that pre-notion when he came to the football club. I wasn't really feeling certain things. He just looked a bit higgy on the ball, and everything looked a bit forced and stiff. And yeah, now it's not like that. Man doing Trevea passes outside of the foot and them thing that, Yo, see Salah? Yeah. Salah. Like I said, excellent finish, Mo Salah. It's done. Let's move on anyway, man. I could be all day talking about Mo Salah. Min Song. He is the one player, I think, universally in the Premier League, give or take, forget that he plays for Tottenham, because I know Arsenal fans will be like, oh, I wouldn't sign. You would. But forget that he plays for Tottenham. He's the one player I think every team would want to have. Even forget it's just the top teams, but if anyone could sign him in the Premier League, I fully feel like every team likes Son. Like, you just like Son. You just like what he's about, whether that be because of his personality and whatnot. I don't know. He just seems like a proper likable character. I don't even know him. I don't even know nothing about him. I don't follow Tottenham, so I don't know. Yo, is he like that really? You know, I have no idea. Does he do stuff in the community? I have no idea. But when we're just talking about Son on the pitch, one of the best wingers we've ever seen in the Premier League, 100%. Now moved a bit more. Obviously, he's now playing, would I say, in as a striker now. Again, that's just more age, pace, not really there no more. He's not that lightning quick. He hasn't really got that ability, that attribute that he used to have, where he was just quick. Playing alongside Harry Kane, long day. Those two were, those two were something. They were absolutely something. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like those two reminded me of that Denzel video meme, that short clip that always goes around where he's like, I'm leaving with something. I'm from around the way. You know what I mean? Those two were always like, that's what they remind me of. Like, it don't matter if Tottenham lose 4-2. Guess what? Son and Kane are doing whatever they need to do. They've combined for the umpteenth time to be able to do their things. Definitely one of the best players and one of my favorite players to watch, man. And like I said, I feel like everybody wanted to sign him. Like, for some weird reason, I don't know what it is about Son. He just has that effect, and the day he leaves the Premier League, yeah, man, it's gonna be a bit of a sad one. But he definitely left an imprint, whether that be just because of the fan base that he's been able to bring over, for Tottenham, which I can only imagine brings them quite a lot of money, but also just because of the way he used to play, the type of player he was. And people think, the thing is, he has this nice guy thing about him, which is like, oh yeah, like Son's calm, like he's bare cool, but then he has this, I've seen him in games where he gets angry, and I like that. And I think maybe because people might underestimate him, so to speak, but it is what it is. Cold finisher, by the way. Cold finisher. Absolutely cold finisher, man. Really, really like him in someone. Really, really like him. Let's move on to a player that I really, really like. Old school for them. Ricardo Quaresma. You see Quaresma? You see what I'm talking about? Mo Salah, the Trevor and that. Yeah. This guy does that. I had been doing that since like the age of 17 and that. 17, 18, whatever. He's been doing that. You see, the maverick type of player. Like, he's not even Portuguese, whatever. Like, it's Brazilian, kind of the same. But he was one of those players who played in Europe. But you honestly, like the way he played the game, if he played for Brazil, like the Brazil national team, I don't think that you would have, like, he wouldn't have been out of place there. He definitely, the way I'm just thinking about it now, yeah, he wouldn't have been out of place. I'll be honest, he definitely wouldn't have been out of place. Like, this guy was, oh my days, charisma. Some of the goals that this brother used to score was so flipping stupid. Was actually so stupid, bro. Played for Barcelona, played for Sporting, Porto, Inter Milan, Chelsea on loan. I remember that. Besiktas, back to Porto, Besiktas again. Like, he's had a very colourful career. And obviously, for me, when he was coming through, again, I say this a lot, and I'm gonna be saying this a lot, and I've said it a lot throughout this series. He walked, so Cristiano Ronaldo could run. Trust me on that one. He walked, so Cristiano Ronaldo could run. He walked. I promise you that. And the reason why I say that is because he brought that kind of arrogance and that, can I put it like kind of flair in his kind of game, and bringing the skills and stuff like that. In my personal opinion, and again, not to argue or whatever, because obviously he came first, then Cristiano Ronaldo come through like a couple of years later or a season or two later. For me, I always felt like it was going to be Quaresma who's going to have the career Ronaldo had. Obviously, for whatever reason, I don't know what his career, like in terms of his personal life, was like, but it just didn't pan out that way. But he was still able to forge a fantastic career. But I always remember thinking, nah, it's gonna be Quaresma. You know, like Quaresma's gonna be the guy. Look what he does on the ball and stuff like that. Maybe it's just down to application. To be honest with you, it might just be that. It generally just might be that. Don't want to speak, you know, on him because I don't know why it just never really panned out for him. But listen, man, top player, skillful, fun to watch. Like I said, mixing with the Brazilians, calm, super duper calm, super calm. Like it wouldn't have been an issue, it wouldn't have been a problem. You know what I mean? So that's why I look at someone like him and I'm just like, yeah. Like you'll go down. I don't even want to say streets won't forget kind of player because I feel like, I feel like he's a level above that one. But if you want to put him in that, you can put him in them kind of ones there. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know what? Wherever you would put Adriano, wherever, if Adriano's in the same list, right, then you have to put Quaresma in whatever that list is because those guys, I felt like they were generally better than those guys in the streets won't forget kind of players, you know, kind of thing. But you know, I guess it just depends on how you kind of rank it and how you kind of see it. But top player, man, really liked Quaresma. Let's move on to the next one. Now we have got Damien Duff. You guys already know I'm gonna have like I said, I'm gonna have the wingers there. I'm gonna have the wingers there, man. So you know, I'm gonna have the left-footed wingers. So Damien Duff has to be there. It's to be there. Blackburn. I'm not even talking about, like, obviously the one at Chelsea was really good, by the way, like, of course, but I'm more talking about the one at Blackburn. That's where I really saw, in my opinion, like the best of someone like Damien Duff. I thought he was quality, you know, for Blackburn Rovers. Was there, obviously, that's where he started out his career, professionally anyway. Republic of Ireland international as well, top player, integral. You know, won the League Cup with Blackburn Rovers. I thought he was such an absolute amazing player. I honestly thought he was so dope. You know what he reminded me of? I think that's why I liked him. But he reminded me of Overmars. He can play on the left, but he can go in and out, and we don't really see that. Obviously, because Chelsea at the time had Robin, and obviously Robin's playing off that right hand side. I mean, they kind of swapped at times. Sometimes Robin will play left, sometimes Robin will play right, but I always felt like Damien Duff could do he could play on the right, of course, but he could play left wing. And he still plays it better than guys who want to play left wing but are right-footed, who like to obviously cut in and do whatever. He could do that. He was like the old school conventional winger, in my personal opinion, when I think about someone like a Damien Duff. So that's why I put him in that mold of like Mark Overmars, where they're like conventional. Get him on the outside, whip a ball in, or beat your man and see if you can get a shot off and still have the quality to be able to get that shot off and slot it in the corner. Damien Duff could do that, man. Top player, fantastic. Really enjoyed watching him, and yeah, his accolades, his honor list, his achievements. You know, he's got all of that, man. He's got all of that. Won Premier Leagues, of course. You know, with Chelsea. So yeah, man. I think he's one of those kind of players that I look at, and I just think to myself, yeah, man, had a very good, you know, very good career. But let's move on to our next one. Now, I've got one player on the list, and now I'm going to show you this next player, and this is a player who. Everyone always seems to be, there always seems to be a battle between these two players. And that's Eden Hazard. Always a battle, because obviously I spoke about Mo Salah already, but there always seems to be a battle with him and Eden Hazard. Always. People always, like, and for me, I don't, like, obviously if you want to compare, you can compare. And obviously Hazard's going to come up better in some metrics and Salah's going to come up in other metrics. I don't know how people kind of judge it, and I don't want to really know, to be honest with you, because I feel like it just comes down to your own perception. What do you like in football? If you're asking me who's a player who gets me off the edge of my seat, then it's going to be Eden Hazard every day of the week. This brother was dragging Chelsea to Premier Leagues and that, like on his own, on his ones and twos, you know, like, yeah. And some of the things that he would do on the pitch was Messi-like. That's close to him, so to speak, but yeah, not down to sheer footballing, like pure talent and that. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And again, that's what I say. It just depends on what you like. Both fantastic players, but when we talk about Eden Hazard, yeah, nah, that from Lille days, yeah, nah, it's long. And this is why I always tell people, bro, not forget, but cool, at Chelsea, he obviously done his thing, and that's where he was an amazing player, right? But he was doing it from young. He's been doing this. Like, Hazard has been a sick player from time. Wonder kid turned dope player. He's been that. He has been that. And I feel like people act like he was like just some nobody. He came Chelsea and then just became this kind of just Don Dada or whatever. I'm like, nah, like he's been a solid baller for time. Like since, like I said, since his Lille days, he had just always been that kind of guy. Spent years at Lille as well. Not like he was there for 2 seconds. He was at Lille for a minute. He was at Lille for a minute. Teams were trying to get him. But he said, nah, I'm not really doing that. Not really doing that. One league with Lille, being a top player, moved to Chelsea again. Top player, man. Honestly, like Hazard, yeah, it's dumb. With Hazard, it's dumb. And that brings you on to my next player, who I feel like is in the same kind of mold as an Hazard in terms of stylistically and what they like to do on the pitch, but he takes it to a next level, like a whole different level than Hazard. And that's Neymar. That is Neymar. Now, when we talk about players like Neymar, he falls into the bracket of like LeBron James. Players who like have been wonder kids and been the spotlight has been on them since young, like they were 13 and all of that. Like LeBron since he was in college or whatever they call it over in America. Same with Neymar. I don't think I've ever seen in football, and to this day, I still haven't seen it. I've never seen pressure from the world on one player since they were young, and you have to maintain that. I've never seen it from anyone. I've not seen one player come through at this current moment in time where you're so hyped at the age of like 13 or whatever it is, that and like they're talking about you from them type of ages, and you kind of still kind of, in my opinion, kind of fulfill the prophecy, so to speak. Maybe not fully in some people's opinions, and some people are like, nah, he could have done more, and he could have easily have won more, so to speak. But on the flip side, he done a lot. He's done a lot. If I showed you guys go on Wikipedia or whatever and check out his honor list, absolutely stop it. It's stop it. One crazy amount of trophies. He's won trophies at every club he's been at every single club that he has been at, whether that's Santos, whether that's Barcelona, whether that's PSG, he has won trophies all the time. And the thing is, like I say, with someone like a Neymar, like, yeah, you just got to go back to from when he started to now. Just go and check out the hype around Neymar, and then come back to me and try to tell me of another player who's had that hype from that age and still turned out to be a baller later on in life. Endrick, no. Endrick's not even close to that. Endrick's not even. And what's so mad, when we think about it, it's so mad because we've got social media now, and the media game is a lot bigger than it was back then when Neymar was coming through, and Neymar still had more hype. So yeah, man, one of my favorite players ever to watch. I feel like people want to be clowning him and, you know, etc., and, you know, whatnots. But listen, when he retires from football in general, yeah, you'll know, you'll feel that, because he left an imprint on football that I don't think many people are gonna leave. Obviously, there's gonna be a couple players who I'm gonna speak about now who have left that already. But, you know, when we're talking about just, you know, the type of player that he was, bro, you see when you talk about taking a piss out of players, yeah, that's what he's on that. He's on taking a piss out of you. He's on flicking the ball over your head or putting it through your legs. Calm, and just going on about his day. He brought so much joy to football, man. So yeah, man, big up to him, man. Penultimate one. I can't talk about Neymar and not talk about Ronaldinho. I can't talk about one of the greatest players to ever grace the game. I can't. It's impossible. It's actually impossible. I don't have much to say on Ronaldinho because Ronaldinho is Ronaldinho. Yeah, I don't have anything to actually say. Ronaldinho is Ronaldinho. I don't know what else I could say on that. I think he would be in, give or take, everyone's list in terms of position and stuff like that. I don't know what to say. I'm actually lost for words. Even though this is a recording, I actually don't know what to say. It's Ronaldinho. I'm going to just move on to the last one. My favorite player ever of all time. I also don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. It's Messi. When he retires, I'll do a video on Messi because he's my favorite player of all time. So I have to do a video on Lionel Messi. Have to. It's Lionel Messi. I don't necessarily. I will show you guys anyway, but I don't have to show you the honor list from Lionel Messi. His balance. I'm gonna leave it there. I'm actually gonna just leave it there. The last two, I can't speak on them. I can't. There's nothing to say. There's actually nothing to say. Like, you can wax lyrical about them, and like I said, I'd rather just wait. When Messi retires, then, you know, we'll talk about that, and, you know, we'll go from there. But guys, that's my 10 favorites. Wingers, you know the drill. Let me know in the comment section, who are your 10 favorite wingers of all time. I'm G. We out.